Well, greetings and welcome. I'm thanking you for taking a moment to listen to this recording. This is a call to service, a world call to service, something that happens every many years, actually, where we reach out and we state to each and every SVH practitioner, help. Please help us, and please help yourself and the world to make a big shift in consciousness. I want you to know from the onset that a group of us is headed to some major energy sites on the world. And many individuals will not be participating on site, but from home. There is so much that you can do to help further the major shifts that are ready to happen on planet Earth that will ripple out to you, to your family, those you love, and to the rest of the sentient beings of this world. We are moving to multiple energy sites so that we can anchor in some major energy, but we want to reach back in time to interface with the primal ancestors of all sentient beings. This goes back 123,000 years to a time where humanity was emancipated. Now, this might seem a bit woo-woo, but it is the origins of our species because we were a slave race. We were created, we were enslaved, our people worked until they expired at age 32, and more people were made to take over for them. However, let's look at it from a modern standpoint. We have many patterns that are linked to this slave race mentality, and it's limiting us from being able to step into our birthright of utilizing innate abilities that are part of our capabilities. If we were able to push past the slave mentality, the drone mentality. And so what I'm asking for you to do today is to step up, basically, and commit yourself to every day on that journey, which begins on the 4th of November and will continue until our world, its sixth dimension, is non-dual. You can be a party to that. You can play many roles. You may not be able to be on site with us in Egypt and in the other places around the world that we're going to be implementing this work. It will be Egypt, it will be Sri Lanka, Cambodia, at Angkor Wat. These are all places where there are energy sites. Egypt has 9 major energy sites, and that's why we are always going to Egypt. But we've done incredible mission work throughout the world. Jordan, Israel, we've been all over the world, really, to many energy sites all over Greece and Turkey and Easter Island, of all places. And we've also done some major work in Peru. And there are individuals traveling like you all over the world. And it's possible for you, actually, to take this mission that I'm bringing forward right now into an even greater role that you can be playing. And that's part of this 2-part mission call to service. And you can participate in one or both of these exceptional opportunities to transform your life, help all sentient beings of this world, and also help Gaia, our beautiful planet, to shift to higher states of conscious awareness. I ask that you please read the information that is provided also, the written information, because it goes into a lot more detail. But let me just start off by stating that we are creating a new mission link recording that is going to be available for you to use if you choose to be a part of this mission. The first piece is for you to just step into your divinity core or the MySpace workspace if you're a level 3 or above, and step to where we are on these missions in these different positions. And that's going to work because we have a WhatsApp group that you're going to be able to join and know exactly where we are and on the days we will be in those places. And when you step from there, you'll think that new mission link trigger process. You'll think mission link, and a door will open, and Archangel Michael will take your hand, and you'll walk out onto this big map of the world. And that map on the world is going to have a whole lot of little tiny you and Archangel Michael's moving to pinnacle points. And each day it will be a new and different set of places, I'm sure. Automatically, your arms will rise into the air like goalposts, and the Creator will instill within your stream of energy these exceptional and important steps, codes, energies, whatever Creator's choosing for that day, and you will be instilled with these. When that is coming through your light cord, it goes down into that space where you're in, through the chakra that's beneath your feet. And it's going to anchor into that energy spot, wherever it is on the world, and instill into those locations. And then you will begin to ancient breathe. You'll just think ancient breathing. And even if you haven't been taught how to do it, you'll be able to have that activate and stretch throughout that region of each of those locations on the map, raining these codes to those that are ready to receive them, blanketing that energy and the vibration Creator is instilling into that space. And then that piece of the mission is done, and your energy body will automatically step back into your divinity core where you are, or back into, the MySpace, and release where you are. That's the mission. And every time that someone is traveling, it might be you might want to go to Cancun. And while you're in Cancun, go to Tulum. That's a big energy site. And so you'll get on that WhatsApp group and you'll say, I will be in Tulum at this day. Or I'll be in Meteora, Greece on this day. Or Santorini. Or any of the places that are on the world that are energy sites. And we will all, on that day, know that this is a point for us to step from our divinity core through that gateway to that spot where you're at and think mission link. And the beautiful part about working with God is that we can do it the moment we see the mission suggestion that you're going to be there, because we're stating we want to step to where you're there. And what does the divinity core and the MySpace workspace do? It moves you to wherever you're choosing to go in time and space. And the Creator is the one creating that conduit for us. So it becomes very simple. Now, all of this is going to be put in a written set of steps in the WhatsApp group chat. And so that's going to make it so easy that every time there is a mission, or while we're on this grand mission that is 6 weeks, so for 6 weeks, you'll remember to every day, just turn and step through the doorway where we're at. I am and step through the doorway to where we're at, wherever we are on that day for the mission. Think mission link and step through. Now, what this is going to be doing is it's going to be igniting, lighting, and instilling into the individuals through the Lemurian guardians. And I know this is getting a bit woo-woo, but this is the whole piece, is that the slaves, the human slaves, were emancipated about 123,000 years ago. And when they were, the Lemurians guardianed them. And they took them to these energy sites where we're headed. That's where they created a space for them where they could be mentored and supported for 750 years. Now, 750 years of progeny made a lot of people because these individuals were now emancipated. They were able to partner up, and they were able to create the foundation for all that are alive and living now. All of the progeny of those individuals are carrying the seeds of slavery and terrible experiences of survivals that happened after that 750 years, because they were fighting to survive, but they had tools and they were enlightened and ready enough to be able to live on their own, though still being lightly mentored. So these individuals, these 750 years of progeny, are going to be affected in a major way because of this big work we are doing. And the reason why is because the mission is that the Creator is sending codes back through time in what we call the footprints process in SVH level 2. We have a regional footprints process that stretches our energy field out. And when it stretches out, it touches on the footprints of aspects of our soul lineage, and in this mission, even our genetic lineage. And when it does that, there is an exchange of information, and that information is only positive and uplifting. But look what we have as human beings of our modern day. Even with all the struggles of modern life, we can choose whether we want to go to work, whether we want to sleep late, whether we want to travel. All the things that we have as choices, those individuals that are just being released 123,000 years ago have never made a choice. Everything was defined for them. And the Creator is going to help to open up the conduit that was sealed and has been sealed in humanity from the beginning of sentient beings, when souls started entering these slave race beings so long ago. And so what we are looking at is an opening of the conduit. The seal is being removed from those initial individuals that were released. And not only will they be able to have full 100% communication with their soul on a constant basis, they will give birth to children that will be mentored by Lemurians, which are nondual beings, and they will also be mentored and taught and loved and learn right along with their parents what it is to be in a communication with the soul like we have never known before. The only people on the planet that have had this self-realization have been partially like a spontaneous awakening that lasts for individuals, or our mentor and teachers in time, Buddha and Jesus and others that have been fully awakened. The individuals that have sat in caves in Meteora in Greece for 50 years have developed this interconnection, this openness to their soul, and they can feel it and know it. And it's an amazing experience to have that. I experienced that for 3.5 days in 1996, and I knew everything. That's a cosmic awareness. I knew how the world was formed, how the cosmos was formed. I knew all the cosmic laws and how everything works in existence. And I knew that for 3.5 days. These people are going to be awakened and know. And they're going to receive our connection to who we are and how we are their progeny, ultimately, and that we are making choices. And because they have that connection with their open conduit to the soul, what's going to happen is those individuals are going to be able to understand, because the soul already knows everything. They're not going to be horribly overwhelmed by these possibilities. Instead, they will thrive from it, and they will teach their children. And this is going to, and their children will teach their children, and onward for 750 years. And then they will be set free, like anyone that is set free to live and thrive. And there will be less struggles. Our history will change overnight. The energy of slave mentality, it will ripple up to us, and it will make transformational changes in our life. It could start a transformational shift in humanity that opens up a conduit that upraises humanity out of these depths, basically reached, of manipulations. Truth will be known. There won't be any more misconceptions about what we see on the news. We'll just say, that's true, that's true, that's true, that's false, that's not true, that's a lie, that's manipulation. We'll just know. This is major. And we're going to be moving to the places throughout the Middle East, through Asia, and perhaps you will be someone who will take this further in your travels, because there's a secondary mission that you can be a part of, and that is to have one of the Lemurian seed crystals that have been mined in Brazil, cut to fit the vessels that we're putting them in, and then instilled 125,000 years ago or 123,000 years ago by the Lemurians, who will be the guardians, and then further instilled by the Creator, with what the Creator is utilizing to awaken these primal beings. It won't do anything to the modern humans or their progeny as far as opening up the heart conduit for the soul recognition and complete communication. But it will reach back through the footprints process, and it will, anywhere you travel, if there are primal beings that are newly released, or if they're even in their lifespan, they could be one day from death, and all of a sudden you show up and it goes back in time and it activates and opens up that conduit. And you do that by carrying in your wallet, in your backpack, this vessel. You can read more about it in the information, but it basically has a Lemurian seed crystal that's been encoded by the Creator, and then it's also going to receive a crystal encoded by the Creator that is purchased for you in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, which is a crystal island, I'm going to be procuring these seed crystals. This is not a boomerang, but it kind of is a little bit like it if you're familiar with the boomerangs. And so basically, these are going to be encoded seed crystals and added to the little vessel. And this little vessel is, I wouldn't wear it. I would keep it in a little pouch, because if it unhinges and the crystals are lost, they're priceless. It can never, how do we replace them? So I'm going to be carrying mine. I'm not going to wear it. But what happens is when the seed, this little beautiful gem is added to the seed crystal pouch, they work together. So the Lemurian Seed Crystal that the Creator has encoded and has implements from the Lemurian for those people in the ancient times, because they are guardians and can give them that mentoring, is joined with our Sri Lankan gem, the little crystal. When that happens, wherever you go, from the moment that it's near you, it is going to be feeding like a beam of light up into the area that you live. There's like a huge domes all over the world. We call them hagios, which means sacred space. And these are like umbrellas all over. They're about 125 to 250 kilometers square. And each of these, interestingly, are pockets of energy that are raining higher energy vibrations onto the planet. When this seed crystal and the Sri Lankan gem join, it sends these codes of awakening. And all that are awakened, all that are awake or awakening, that are choosing to shift and change their life, they are going to be rained on for 11 hours. You can leave a destination, and for 11 hours, those people are rained on by these encodements from the Creator. You can fly in an airplane across many hagios to a destination, and just being in those spaces, and you have your Lemurian Seed Crystal and your Sri Lankan gem in your pocket, within your auric field, it's going to be feeding that hagios above you. And you leave it and it still continues to rain for 11 hours. You can travel by bus, train, planes, automobiles, it doesn't matter. Anywhere you are, it's a constant feed into that location. You change that space and it changes that now it's feeding the new location, and for 11 hours, the one you just left is rained on. This is a major thing because it's going to start melting away that seal on the soul that is blocking the soul communication. We're spiritual, we're awake, we're evolving, and we're already communicating with our soul all the time. But until you have had the seal removed, you have no idea. I know because I experienced it for 3 days. It is going to be transformational. It's going to make a shift worldwide. It's going to help to transform our children. It's going to, our children, our everything within the range of where we are is going to be rained on this. And each person is obviously choosing for themselves how fast this happens for them. And because we're already awake and aware and we're choosing it, imagine how quick it's going to happen for us. That's the secondary part of the mission, is to keep the hagios wherever we are and wherever we travel, fueling these awakenings worldwide. And that's why I said this 2-part mission. The first part, It's the major part, for 6 weeks doing the mission link. After that, anytime any of us that has a seed crystal and the gem that goes to any location around the world, that we're stepping in and we are doing mission link to anchor that energy. So this is really exciting, and I hope you join this WhatsApp group and get committed to either be a part of implementing the mission link every day for 6 weeks to help the world and onward whenever anybody is at an energy site, and or doing that and procuring one of these seed crystals and gems. I want you to know that as soon as I get back from Sri Lanka, which will be in the middle of December, these vessels will be shifted and sent to you. They'll come in the mail, they'll come however they come. Someone might carry it to you. Either way, please consider answering this call to service and joining this incredible world team mission for the world. Thank you for listening.